everyone. Today I'm going to talk about medieval feudal hierarchy. So my presentation is divided into two parts. The first part I will tell you mainly what feudalism is, and second part I will talk about each level of the hierarchy. So feudalism was a form of political dominancy that existed in Europe in medieval period ranging from 9th century to 15th century. The feudal system structured the society into various categories and followed a set of the military and legal customs. The lands were disturbed. Medieval feudal hierarchy or the feudal system was organized in the form of inverted structure, or what we call as a hierarchical structure, where a king was on top of the hierarchy. After a king, there existed certain classes in the structure, with decreasing privileges and rights and nobility. Can I show a picture?
Sure.
How? Okay, so these are the levels of the hierarchy. So
Excellent.
we see comes the king, then the king, then the nobleman, lords, and the lowest peasants.
Okay, good.
Okay. So following are the levels of the feudal hierarchy. First, we start the highest level, the king. This is how a king looked in the medieval time. It is
Which king is
King
this?
John of England.
Okay.
So, king was the highest authority in the medieval feudal hierarchy, and all the land in the kingdom belonged to him, which can be used by him as per his own wish. Kings at that time were more concerned with wars and with enhancing their kingdoms. So they needed soldiers for war. Hence, the kings preferred to sublet their lands to the barons and bishops, in return of which they used to provide knights to the king at the time of the war. Then comes the nobleman. Here is how a nobleman looked like in the medieval ages.
Could you show the girls too? Girls, can you see it?
Yes. Wow.
So the category of people that immediately followed king in the hierarchy was of noblemen of the king, barons and bishops.
Barons and bishops?
Yeah. Barons were the wealthiest and powerful noblemen who received lands called as fiefs directly from the king. They were responsible for adequate supply of soldiers and fighters for the war. The bishops were almost equal to the barons as far as the power of privileges were concerned, but they were related with the administration of churches, priests, monasteries, and convents. Taxes were also collected by bishops, which made them extremely rich. After the noblemen comes the lords. Here is what a lord wore. It's not a real lord, but this is what a lord wore. In the medieval times. So the lords or the knights, were the people who used to get the subletted lands called fiefs or manor from barons. They were required to serve as soldiers for the king's army. They also used to sublet their land to the peasants for rent or to farm products. And the lowest level of medieval hierarchy are the peasants. Here is how a typical peasant looked like.
So like country people, villagers.
Yeah. These were the lowest level of people in the entire kingdom. These were the least rich people and held a least set of privileges. These were the people who actually farmed the lands and were responsible for growing crops and providing food to everyone. They used to get certain piece of land from the lords, in return of which they served them or offered a little of produced food material. So, thank you all for coming to the presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
Yeah, and we've got some questions as well.
Okay.
I didn't really understand what the difference between a baron and a lord. Like, does the lord pay any taxes to the baron?
Yes. he required to serve as soldier for the king's army, but bishops and barons didn't.
And do barons have peasants to cultivate their land, or do they simply give their land to the lords?
The bishops and barons, they actually collected the taxes from peasants, and they were related with the administration of churches, priests, monasteries.
Yeah, I understood about the bishops. I knew that they were like religious position. But my question is like, did the barons have peasants or peasants? Peasants themselves, or did they only give their land to the lords and then the lords gave the land to the peasants?
Well, no, the Lord itself had his own land, but the bishops gave the land to the peasants.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much. That was interesting.